Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here today. I know that some of you are having to miss Sunday church in order to be here. In fact, a few minutes ago, I overheard one of our inductees, Randy Fife, telling a couple of buddies that his impressive streak of 558 consecutive weeks of attending Sunday morning church services has abruptly come to an end because he's opted to be with us instead. So, thank you, Randy. We appreciate you being here and the heavy sacrifice you've made. Actually, Pat Sheridan offered me $10 to say that, and I said, no, how about 50? I said, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Trent Hills Sports Wall of Honor Advisory Board, I'd like to welcome you to the new Sunny Life Recreation and Wellness Center and to the official unveiling of the Trent Hills Sports Wall of Honor for our inaugural induction class of 2024. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Terry English. I'm a member of the advisory board, and I'm pleased to be joined today by the person responsible for spearheading and guiding this Wall of Honor project, our chair, Jim Peeling from Kelmberford. Also, advisory board members Jim Coveney, Stuart Richardson, representing the community of Hastings, Eunice Stapley, and Pat Sheridan, representing Kelmberford, and Scott Newman, who along with myself represent Warkworth. Now, for some of you, this may be your first time in this new Recreation and Wellness Center, and if you've had an opportunity to walk around and check things out, I'm sure you will agree that this is mighty impressive. And I'd like to start by thanking our municipal officials and members of the Community Services Department who have made it possible for us to have a designated area in this wonderful facility to showcase our Wall of Honor, which will serve as a special tribute celebrating the history and success of Trent Hills sports. Some of those people who have made this possible are here today, and I'd like to introduce them to you. Representing local council, would you please welcome Mayor Bob Crate. Along with councilors Jean Bratney and Dennis Savory. Representing the Community Services Department, please welcome Director Peter Burnett. And unfortunately, Manager Kelly Stapley couldn't be with us today. Jerry? Yes. Oh, we do have, I apologize, Deputy Mayor Mike Metcalf. We have another special guest joining us this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome former Councillor Kathy Redden. Now, Kathy was a member of local council when this Sports Wall of Honor idea was first proposed by her, Peter and Kelly, and the Kelmberford Seymour Heritage Society. They are the ones who got the ball rolling, so to speak, and then they handed the ball over to Jim Peeling, who immediately got blindsided by a pandemic. But he persevered, and here we are today. Kathy, it is great to have you with us today for this event, and we hope you are pleased at what has been accomplished with this project thus far.
More than.
Thank you. We would also like to single out the outstanding support we have received from Peter and Kelly throughout this process, not just with the creation of this Wall of Honor site, but other aspects of the project as well, including the big role they played in helping to make the first ever induction ceremony last year in Warkworth such a big success. Along the way, there's been countless meetings and phone calls, especially from Jim and Scott, sometimes on a daily basis. So, Peter, we thank you for your time, your effort, and patience. We certainly appreciate it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to turn things over to Mayor Crate for some opening remarks. Thank you much.
Thanks very much, Terry. It's really an honor to be here and to acknowledge everything that's been done by the committee. I know when Jim first approached me, I mean, I was enthusiastic, but I couldn't really get involved. But I know there's countless hours that the committee has put in to get to where we are. And I know if you get a chance today to tour the complex, you'll see what a fantastic, I guess, place. Usually they're shooting at my head. What a fantastic complex we have here for people, and we can see it by the numbers. Already there's almost 2,000 members at the Y next door. So we're very happy with how the complex has turned out. But to have this Wall of Honor here just makes it special. And I want to thank the committee, and I want to thank everybody. I mean, I look around here and I see so many people that are, that I've been with, played against, and I'm so pleased that they're here and that they're going to be honored for their contributions to our community. So, Terry, thank you very much. Much appreciated. And again, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for those kind words, Mayor Crate. We have acknowledged the people who have provided the space for the Wall of Honor. Now we'd like to turn our attention to those who have donated funds to help furnish it. We extend special thanks to the following businesses for their valuable contributions. Jake Whalen of King Auto in Kelmsford for the lettering, Mermill Manufacturing in Kelmsford for the wood paneling, and Kelmsford Chrysler for the plaques. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking these businesses and individuals for their support and financial contributions. We have other important organizations to thank, but we would like to save that until the Wall of Honor is unveiled. This past year has certainly been a busy one for the advisory board members, but it has been equally as exciting as well, watching this project, which has been in the works for a few years, finally become a reality. I would like to add that it has been great to see what has been achieved from having all three of our communities working together on such a worthwhile project. I have had people reach out to me and comment on this, so it hasn't gone unnoticed. From the very beginning, it has been our intention, our goal, to try to do things the right way so that we can make our inductees and their families feel proud. Proud to be recognized and proud to be honored for their outstanding achievements and contributions to local sports. And also the lasting impact that they have had on our communities. Now, I'll be honest with you, initially, I wasn't quite sure just how much this Trent Hills Sports Wall of Honor recognition would mean to some of our inductees, particularly those who have achieved provincial, national, and international success and have been the recipients of many awards, many honors, and many accolades. But after meeting and speaking with our inductees and then hearing their emotional and heartfelt acceptance speeches at our induction ceremony last year, it confirmed that this recognition, this honor, does indeed mean a lot to them. And it means a lot to our communities as well. That has certainly been evident based on the overwhelming response and compliments we have received from the public over the past year, especially from the large number of people who have attended the induction ceremony. Just to give you a couple of examples, Campbellford Wholesale helped us out after the ceremony with a significant contribution towards the cost of running the bar. And Paul Irwin of Campbellford attended the induction gala, and he later presented a check for $1,000 to Jim Peeling because he was so impressed with the event and thought that this Sports Wall of Honor is a great thing. One thing we have heard quite often from various community members is that, given the rich history of Trent Hills sports, the creation of a local Sports Wall of Honor was long overdue. And once again, thanks to Jim Peeling's tireless work, that initiative has been achieved. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to hand things over to Jim and have him say a few words. Just pretend you're talking in front of the church congregation.
Oh, the church congregation. I guess I got to start off. I'll try not to use the word okay. Stuart, old buddy, old pal. I don't consider myself to be kind of emotional, but I'm standing here, and believe it or not, on the 20th of March next month, it'll be 5 years since I started this. That's the day that Kathy came along with Peter. 5 years. All right. Needless to say, I've been looking forward to this, and I'm glad you're all here, and I'd like to thank you for being here. Today's unveiling of the Sports Wall of Honor represents the final phase of our induction process for the class of 24. The purpose of the plaques you are about to see on the Wall of Honor is to publicly acknowledge and honor excellence, perseverance, history, and hopefully inspire future generations. These plaques are not just awards, they are symbols of outstanding achievements and contributions. They are time capsules, transforming those achievements and contributions into lasting memories, which we all hope will continue to foster pride among the inductees, their families, and our communities. We also hope you look forward to watching this Wall of Honor grow with the engagement and contributions of 3 Trent Hills communities, and that this endeavor will help rejuvenate the importance of sports within the community, keep the kids active, and inspire them to pursue their athletic dreams. At this point, I would like to ask the board members, board member Stuart Richardson, to announce the class of 2024 inductees whose plaques will be showcased on the Wall of Honor. And again, thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jim. As inducted last May at our gala in Warkworth, the first inductees onto our wall are as follows. Representing Campbellford, Kyle Petty, I saw him earlier, Gary Torrance, Cassie Turner, and the 1973 Campbellford Midget All-Ontario Fastball team. Representing Hastings, Dick Clapper, Randy Fife, Jim Morrow, and the 1948-49 Midget All-Ontario hockey team. Representing Warkworth, Bryce Allen, Doug Rowe and family, Warkworth Kinsman and Kinnett clubs, and the 1972-73 Warkworth All-Ontario juvenile hockey teams. And I'm pretty sure we've got representation from all of those inductees here this morning, so I'm glad you can make it out given the weather and everything.
Thanks, Stuart. Now I would like to ask Jim Peeling, Jim Coveney, Eunice Stapley, and Pat Sheridan to help with the unveiling of the Trent Hills Sports Wall of Honor. Okay, before we do this, I just would like to ask everyone to cross their fingers and say a prayer that it's just the curtains that come down. Here we go on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. There we are. Ladies and gentlemen, please join the advisory board members in congratulating the class of 2024 for being the first inductees on the new Trent Hills Sports Wall of Honor. Now, another element to the Sports Wall of Honor is an interactive digital kiosk display. Think of it as a large iPad that we've had installed here, as well as one for the Hastings Fieldhouse and the Warkworth Arena. These easy-to-use touchscreen digital kiosks can be found in most sports halls of fame and have become increasingly popular in high school, colleges, and universities to help showcase the history and legacy of their athletic programs. This digital platform ushers us into the modern era, helping us to preserve, share, and celebrate local sports history in a more sustainable and engaging way. Now, to give you a brief overview of some of the amazing features these kiosks provide, I would like to call upon Advisory Board Member Scott Newman to handle that. You see, being the youngest of the Advisory Board members, Scott is a heck of a lot more knowledgeable and tech savvy about these electronic gadgets than the rest of us. So naturally, we assigned him the task of researching and ultimately deciding on which kiosk model would be best for our needs. Professor Newman, your class is ready for induction into Digital Kiosks 101.
Yeah, Professor, eh? I like that. All right, well, welcome everybody. Like Jim said, this has been a long time coming, so thank you for the turnout. It's great to see the inductees here, and moving forward, these kiosks have unlimited features. So quite simply, the primary purpose of the digital kiosk is to allow interested users to scroll and research information on all the inductees, along with local sports history through newspaper articles, photos, videos, lots of artifacts and memorabilia. So it's an ideal way to preserve the history as well. It'll all be at your fingertips to kind of scroll through. So it would be nice, of course, to be able to have the space in this facility, in the field house and in Warkworth, to have all the old trophies and banners and plaques and awards and teams and individuals. But unfortunately, it just doesn't exist anymore. So instead of, you know, the storage rooms getting piled up with old dusty trophies and medals and things that get kind of forgot about, we're able to preserve it into the digital kiosks, and you're going to be able to see it at all three facilities. So the database system is something I totally don't understand, but we're working through it to get things uploaded, and you'll see more and more updates as we go. So this is just, we put in what we have at this point. There's talks with minor hockeys and soccer organizations and the municipality and businesses and everything moving forward. So what you see here today is just the beginning. So and another important thing that I wanted to point out, these are not cheap. So there's a few community foundations, the one in Warkworth, the one in Camelford, and the one in Hastings, along with the municipality council, who was in massive support. So that's who paid for these three kiosks. So I wanted to make sure that they got a shout out as well. So we want to thank those organizations for kind of seeing our vision and jumping aboard. So I am going to give a quick tutorial. Feel free to stay after to go through it, and you know, if you have any ideas moving forward, we're always looking for help. So I am going to pull this mic off, hopefully without breaking anything. Okay, so you'll see more and more sponsors and businesses and their logos and stuff added to this. So if you don't see it today, don't be angry, it's coming. So as you can see, the main page is sort of a work in progress, but to start it off,
basically all you have to do, now it won't work because the Wi-Fi is probably not great. It takes you into unlimited features. So obviously the focus today is the Sports Wall of Honor, but you can see where we're heading with organizations and service clubs and community foundations, experiencing Trent Hills, where we'll be getting the BIAs hopefully in it as well. And as you can see, it's all easily walked through. So, does anybody want to come up and give it a test run? Randy, come here. No. If we can get Randy to make this work, then come on up, Randy. So as you can see, the names, the names are all here for last year's inductees. So we're gonna start off by, Randy, just touch your name there. So, as you can see, the plaques along the top are limited in size. So by touching Randy's name, it brings his plaque up nice and big for everybody to read. Where this is heading is down along here, there'll be other features to showcase Randy's memorabilia, his sports stuff, newspaper clippings, and all that. So that's coming. So, if you're done with Randy and you don't want you want to read somebody else's, there's two options. Home screen takes you back to the home screen, and the back arrow takes you back. So there you go. So touch it again to begin, Randy.
I get paid for that?
Yeah, you get a free coffee. So hit the Sports Wall of Honor, and then pick anybody else that you want. It doesn't really matter. So there's Kyle's. So it brings Kyle's plaque to life is basically what we're doing. So it's easier to read, and we're going to be able to hopefully work with Kyle moving forward to put anything in here that he wants. So if he finds a newspaper article from one of his events overseas or something and wants it preserved by just not being in a folder at home, we're able to put it in here for everyone to see. So this one, the one in Warkworth and the one in Hastings, all work identical. So there's not a hidden problem in any one. You can access any of these from those three centers. Okay? Thanks, Randy. So,
Good job. Checks in the mail.
what we would like to do after the event as well is have if you're here, if you're an inductee, we'd like to be able to call up your profile and possibly get a picture beside it for ourselves. I know the complaint was you can't read the plaques. Well, you can read the plaques now. So moving forward, if there's a business or somebody that wants to get involved, a sponsor, anything that we can come up with, or you find an artifact at home that you want the world to see, contact us and we'll get it in here, because this interactive part of it, we'll go back one more. These are going to be updated moving forward for any organization or any business that wants to get involved, okay? So when this kind of gives some history on the foundations, I am in talk with the other foundations and getting that information. It's a lot, so it's going to probably take a little while to be able to update this as we go. But if anybody wants to get involved, please contact me. So, as you can see, the minor hockeys are in here as well. And what the purpose behind that is to get some of the stuff in here that can't be displayed in the arena. So, moving forward, we've got award winners and the memorial pages, lifetime members, and all that kind of stuff. So, those don't really open yet, but it's coming. So you'll see kind of where we're heading with that. But if you have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out. And if you have anything that you want in here, Terry's the contact for that. No, I'm just joking. I'm the contact for that. So
I'd like a little bit more work.
yeah. We need some more to work. So hopefully that kind of gives you the quick rundown. I know I'm rambling, but there's unlimited, avenues for what we can do in these kiosks. So if you're in Warkworth, if you're in Hastings, or you're here, feel free to work yourself through it. You can't wreck it. You can't get lost in it. If you get confused by it, just take your home screen and start all over again. So hopefully that kind of gives us a rundown on what our vision was for bringing you know, some of the artifacts to a digital lifestyle. So, and me being the youngest one, that's quite a commentary. But anyway, I do feel like this is something moving forward that is really going to help the communities, not just sports oriented, but the community as a whole. So you'll see some updates when you're in those facilities. Don't be afraid to jump on and work your way through it. Okay? Thanks.
On purpose, what I'm about to say, I save for now. I get a lot of credit for maybe taking this thing, but there's 6 people right here on this advisory board. If I did anything right, I put these 6 people together in the room, and this is why you're here. This is everything. Okay, maybe I get, you know, I was the initial person, but this exists because of the 6 people: Pat, Eunice, Jim, Stuart, Terry, and Scott. And if Scott's a professor, I don't know what that makes me. Anyway, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that they are the nuts and bolts of the Trent Hill Sports Wall of Honor. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our unveiling ceremony. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for attending today's event. And if possible, we kindly ask that inductees and municipal officials make themselves available for photos in front of the Wall of Honor. And if you haven't had an opportunity to get a beverage and snack, please do so. We would like to thank the local businesses, Perfect Print of Campbellford, Media Works of Hastings for their contributions with this event, along with the Campbellford Cadets and the Campbellford Seymour Heritage Society for their tremendous support with this Wall of Honor project from the very beginning. Now finally, there's one more thing I want to share with you, because I'm sure many of you are wondering. The official announcement of the inductees into the Trent Hill Sports Wall of Honor class of 2025 will take place on March 1st. That announcement will be covered by local media and made available on social media, including the Trent Hill Sports Wall of Honor website on Facebook. Until then, keep those Sports Wall of Honor nominations rolling in. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.